All media uses music, sound design, one way or another. TV, dancing, movies, and unfortunately nowadays TikTok. But one media form that we don't talk about using those things is video games. What's the whole point of a video game? They're kind of like movies, but you're the main character. And what makes those video games good is by immersing you in those experiences and expanding upon those universes. By immersing you in being the main character. Nothing immerses you in these worlds better than music and the sound design. One of the games that changed my influence in music was Saints Row 2 and 3. I wasn't allowed to play GTA when I was younger. My mom never let me. So when I would go over to my uncle's house, he had Saints Row 2. And I had one of the best experiences in video games that I've ever had. I had never been more immersed into a world, and especially with the music, the radio stations were amazing. They had one specifically called 107 The Mix, all 80s hits, and it made me love 80s music so much. One of my favorite 80s songs now is Take On Me by a-ha, and that's one of the songs in the video game. One of the Easter eggs actually in Saints Row had to do with the radio. When you would listen to a radio station for a long time through your playthrough, your character would actually begin singing one of the songs. I love when game developers and music designers do these type of things in video games. I've never seen anything like this, and I yet to see anything like this today. Saints Row 2 had such an influence on my life, not only in the way that I played video games, but on the way that I listened to music. And this continued on when I played Saints Row 3. When Saints Row 3's trailer was dropped, it was dropped with Kanye West's Power. Being 14 years old at the time and not having much music influence in my life, when the game finally did release, it had a lot of music that I continue to listen to today, like Tyler the Creator, Kanye West, and Yaya Wolf. And none of that would have been possible without these two games.
And to continue this amazing examples of video game music, we're here to talk about Fallout New Vegas. In Fallout New Vegas, you play as a mailman left dead in the desert and is now out for revenge. With the backdrop of the Mojave Desert, the game takes on a Western movie feel, and the game's soundtrack brings you into this world. The soundtrack was created by composer Enon Zur, who also made music for Dragon Age, Prince of Persia, and Fallout 4. In New Vegas, his compositions help construct the environment of the game world. Songs like No Rest for These Bones create eeriness in the surrounding atmosphere, or the song Damnation conveying the importance of the surrounding game events. Personally, my favorite song from the soundtrack is either the main title or the Doctor's In.
In game, usually you are not locked to a picture. You've been given a situation, a level, a part of the game that you need to score, and there is no way you could really predict what the gamer is going to do. So you have to write a piece of music that will capture the feeling of the gamer and the feel of the situation that the gamer is in at this point.
What's so great about this soundtrack? Well, it leaves room for the in-game radio station music to be enjoyed and really takes center stage. These in-game radio stations offer songs from the 1930s to the 1950s, while also reporting on the player's most recent actions.
A package courier found shot in the head near Good Springs has reportedly regained consciousness and made a full recovery.
These radio stations would always be on when I first started playing. And after a few hours, I found myself blowing people up while singing Johnny Guitar. I think this game really gave me an appreciation for the style of music. Music that was before my time.
Listen to the sound, and let me know what game it's from. See, we all know that sound is from Minecraft. It's become one of the most iconic sounds in video games. We all knew the first sound, but you also know this sound. That sound has instilled fear into all of our hearts. Minecraft's music and sound design has become iconic, the game being out for over 10 years now. But when you think about it, Minecraft's music sound design is quite simple, with simple melodies, and also, let's look at the gas. When Daniel Rosenfield originally composed the music for Minecraft, he recorded his cat and distorted the audio to give the gas its iconic sound that we hear today. The point I'm trying to come across here is that music design doesn't have to be inherently complicated. It can be simple in design. It's all about the execution. Minecraft's execution is done so well that it builds upon their universe so much that it influences real life, breaking into pop culture, where people imitate things in Minecraft, which brings the video game to real life.
So much more could be said about the opposite, real life getting into video games. An early example is in 1983 with the world-famous band Journey creating an arcade game about them losing their instruments. They even had their songs in the game, albeit sounding like shit, but we can just chalk that up for being the technology for the time. On a side tangent, an interesting rumor people created was about the soundtrack of Sonic 3. The rumor was that Michael Jackson helped create the music, but because of a quote-unquote scandal, his name was taken off from the credits. Although Sega denies these claims, that doesn't stop people from wanting this to be true. To be fair, the music from Sonic 3 is pretty dope, and even musicians like Thundercat fuck with it.
You know, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, that's like the hardest soundtrack to find in the world. I don't even think they made a print of that, but like, yeah, I still, like, this is still a big part of my processing.
And now we're actually seeing influence from the Journey video game. Video games are making an appearance in our everyday media. Music artists are finally taking notice on how popular songs can become through video games. For example, Travis Scott's concert in Fortnite, one of the biggest events in Fortnite, netting him around $20 million. Also, another big name who recently did a collab was Rockstar Games and Dr. Dre, with the original online story mode campaign with Dr. Dre content and original Dr. Dre music, also featuring his crew and Anderson .Paak. I enjoy when music artists and game developers collab like this, letting you have a more personal experience from your home with this artist. And the way that technology is going, I can't imagine this type of content being in virtual reality.